everybody, Jeppy here, and today I'm going to search through every voice line I can possibly find and rank the 10 most important voice lines in all of Valorant. Now, these voice lines could be either extremely influential to the lore of Valorant, or maybe they are super popular with the Valorant community, or maybe they are just very emotional lines from the agents. So everyone, let's get into my list of the 10 most important voice lines in Valorant and why. We just hit 70k subscribers, so thank you guys so much for that. And I've been really loving Twitter lately, so follow me over on Twitter. Okay, so coming in at number 10 is going to be one of my favorites, as it really brings out so much emotion with one single voice line.
I must survive to protect my family. I can't lose them. I can't feel that pain again.
So while this voice line doesn't necessarily add a ton to the lore of Valorant, I just love it really just so much for a couple of reasons. It lets us know that Cypher had a family and something honestly horrific happened to them. We can feel the pain in his voice and the desperation to ensure that his new family, the Valorant Protocol, does not meet the same fate as his previous real one. There are very few voice lines in Valorant that bring out so much raw emotion like this one from Cypher. But coming in at number 9 is a very important voice line and honestly gives us more questions than answers.
I remember the machines Killjoy made. What they did to... Never mind. It does not matter.
So the story behind this one is that it's very likely that Reyna is not from this earth. She always talks about the amount of wars she's been in and the souls she's consumed. So some people believe that in this alternate world or alternate reality, that Reyna fought Killjoy and the machines she created to, well, fight back. Another theory is that Killjoy's machines somehow were the reason why Reyna's little sister died, and that's why Reyna fears KJ's tech so much. Both options could be true, as we haven't really gotten a definitive answer either way so far from Riot Games as far as I know. Coming in at number 8 is a voice line that I'm sure some of you guys weren't expecting, but I'll explain why I picked this one.
How many must I kill before I am restored? More, always more.
So out of all the voice lines of Omen talking about how he can't remember who he used to be or the constant pain he is in, I think this one is the most tragic. So we know that Omen used to be a person, but an accident happened we still don't know the full details about, with Viper being there present during it, which ended up killing him. Sage tried reviving Omen back from the dead, but what we have left of Omen right now is the best Sage could do. He has amnesia of most of his past life, is constantly in pain, and desperately wants to go back to his previous life. The tragic thing with this one is that he has no idea how to. In this particular voice line, he feels like killing might somehow restore him to his previous self. He's willing to do anything, even killing people, to get his life back and be relieved of the constant pain he is in. He's such a lost soul right now, and sometimes just can't help but feel bad for him. Here at number 7 is a really new voice line that adds so much potential for the future of Valorant's lore as a whole.
Reyna, radiant as always. Speaking of which, I have an impressionable young mind for you to corrupt. A gift from me to you.
The Radiant Chamber speaking of is of course Neon. I'll quickly tell the backstory of this in case you guys are unaware. So, KO comes from an alternate reality where Radiance rose to power to dominate the world, but he ultimately killed Reyna, who was the queen of the Radiant army that was destroying Earth. It looks like the same events are possibly going to unfold in our timeline as well, with Reyna wanting Radiance to rise to power over humans. She's beginning to plant the seeds of war, and our first real piece of evidence she's serious about this is how she's trying to corrupt Neon. Such a cool storyline. Up next at number 6 is a good old classic one from KO that kind of reinforces the importance of the voice line from Chamber we literally just talked about.
Another Reyna. I killed her in the war. I'll kill her again.
Yeah, so KO kills Reyna, actually saving his reality of humans from really going extinct from the Radiance. I just love this voice line, I really do, because it still shows that deep in KO's programming, he is still designed to kill Radiants without mercy. We'll just have to wait and see if that programming will have to be utilized again shortly if Reyna is able to convince enough Radiants and build up a Radiant army. Halfway to number 1, and we have a very deceiving voice line coming from Viper.
Omen. Keep yourself together, you're still needed.
Wait, what did you say? I'm hearing so many things.
So back onto the topic of Omen having very little memory of his past life, he doesn't even know his real name, but Viper does. You can see that she catches herself right before she actually says his name and remembers to call him by his call sign of Omen. It really makes me wonder why she won't tell him what his name is. They're supposed to be great friends. Well, at least Omen thinks they are good friends. So why is Viper not helping him? Does she fear that if she tells Omen his real name, that he'll remember the accident? Maybe it's all Viper's fault. He died and is now living through the torture and she's trying to hide the truth? There are honestly so many questions with this one. What do you guys think? Coming back to Chamber, we have another voice line from him at number 4.
It is sad what happened here. Such a terrible accident. One that I had nothing to do with.
Of course, he's referring to the awful Everett Lynn disaster on the map Fracture that, contrary to what he says, he 100% is the sole reason for what happened. Chamber and his mirror double from Mirror Earth shot the Radion Collider in the middle of the map, causing the destruction of the facility and the deaths of many scientists. But the massive consequences of that translate even worse to the fact that the Radion Collider was going to be used and try to help Mirror Earth's dwindling Radianite and energy supplies, which is the main reason why Mirror Earth is attacking us to steal our Radianite. So basically, if Chamber and his double didn't destroy the Collider and relations between the two Earths were even stronger in solving their problems and hopefully ensuring we don't have the same problems, there would have been no need for them to attack us anymore. So I'd have to say that yes, this voice line is a major part of Valorant's lore because it continues the problem for Mirror Earth. Now we're on to the top 3, and what a better way to get into it than going with the determination of Reyna.
Enough of your technology. The future is radiant.
This is the second half of the story of Reyna's will to ensure a future for radiance and power. This voice line right here is what's inside her mind, and the one we mentioned earlier about her corrupting Neon is the mindset and plan finally coming into action. I really do think that if Reyna is successful, then we will get a Radiant Wars for Valorant, and that story could translate really well actually into a game mode for Valorant where it's Radiants versus humans. I mean, think about it. Each class of agents like Duelists, Controller Sentinels, has a pretty healthy split of Radiants and humans, so it might actually even be really cool to see an event or even a permanent game mode where it's Radiants versus humans. What do you guys think? Now we arrive here at number 2 with the voice line that I didn't really think I'd rank this high, but I think it's actually just such a cool piece of information that can open up so many doors when it comes to the story of Valorant.
Who were you, ancestor? Where the hell did you go?
Now, at first you may be confused, so let me tell you why I love this voice line from Yoru so much. Yoru, for quite a while now, has been looking for the key to why his mask has its rift walking powers. It's an ancient samurai mask that actually is part of his bloodline, as one of his ancestors from long ago wore that samurai armor. Yoru has gone on record telling Brimstone that his mask has Radianite embedded into it, so that means it was fused with Radianite from long ago when the mask was made, which also totally shakes up the lore of Valorant, as we now know that Radianite has been on Earth for far longer than the first flight happened in the year 2039. I can already picture so many awesome cinematics of Radianite being used by ancient civilizations, from weapons used in wars or technology far greater than what was available in those time periods. Yoru has even told Brim that the ancient ship his ancestors traveled on has dimensional scars on it, meaning that even an entire freaking ship has traveled through rifts before, just like Yoru, which is insane. Before we get into my number 1 pick, guys, let's go over some honorable mentions and let me know if there are any voice lines I missed and feel like they should have been on my list.
The lies we've told this city. Just to pry it open and suck it dry.
This shows that the kingdom and maybe even the protocol have lied to civilians to get what they need.
Be careful near the ship. That portal does not work as intended. Such a bad investment.
This is a great voice line from Chamber talking about the huge teleporter he helped build that sits in the cargo ship on the map Breeze.
Cypher, can you show me around the dark web one of these days?
Oh dear, no, sweetheart. We must protect you.
I love this one for the sole reason that it is freaking hilarious and makes me laugh.
Brim, have you considered embedding your bracer in your limb? I can do that, you know.
Killjoy, I say this with love, but stay the hell away from my arm.
I also love this voice line because it shows us the great father and daughter-like bond Killjoy and Brimstone share. It tells us that some agents on the VP think of each other as more than comrades, but as family instead. And coming in at number 1 is possibly one of my favorite voice lines. It is something that Sage says that kind of gives me chills sometimes. It encompasses the true nature of really what's at stake with our Earth possibly getting ruined by the attacks from near Earth, and that the Valorant protocol needs to stand tall and defend it with their lives. Every round is a battle to save Earth from the defender's point of view, while every round is also a battle to save their own Earth as well from an attacker's point of view.
Stand tall. We are Valorant. We are fighters.
I don't know about you guys, but when I hear Sage say that at the beginning of a round of Valorant, it pumps me up to do the best I can. I really hope you guys liked my list, and make sure to leave a comment down below if you think I should have included any other voice lines you think should have made the list. Leave a like and subscribe to notifications if you're new. Now with all that being said, Jippy out!